Surprise! Guess what's back? Our concealer brush. Our C32 is back. Now I'm going to do a tutorial in a little while, but this is going live right now. I do not want y'all to miss it this time. A lot of you did miss it this time, but it's finally back. It's restocked. We're good to go. I'm so excited for you to add this to your collection. I'm going to talk about it further later because we'll do some concealer and we'll just talk about it a little bit, but it's back. You asked and here it is. Here I am. That was fast. Listen, the hotel I'm at has this iced tea. This is a paper straw, by the way. We love that. But they have this iced tea that I swear is bergamot, and I love it so much. I don't even know how many iced teas that I have drank. I am in hog heaven here. Delightful. I'm so excited that this brush is back because I feel that this is probably the most asked about brush, and we are so excited that it's finally back, and we just appreciate your patience on that. Now let's do a tutorial. Fly hands are out. I'm gonna try to not get too wild. We're gonna go out to dinner later with Kosas, and y'all know that this could turn into a Feral Monday, and I don't know if we need that at dinner. We might, but I also didn't bring glitter, so what was I thinking? So in honor of this being back, we call this our MVB, our most versatile brush. Cute, right? We have fun. So I'm going to show you all the ways that we can use it, and I'm going to start with my favorite liquid eyeshadow. Y'all already know. I use this as a base now, and I absolutely love it. But you could use this, obviously, to even this out across your lid. And we're just getting started here. Woo! That is just my perfect skin tone, but just more even. I love this. Let's do this side. And I'm going to blow dry my hair, so I'm still letting it dry. And when I tell you my hair dries in California so fast, it's so nice because then I'll just use my Dyson and it takes me 20 minutes instead of 40 minutes. It's quite delightful. Tap that across. Still notice that I'm tapping. I feel like with a brush like this, tapping is always their best bet. Now we gotta make sure we got Sheila on hand because we gotta always wipe this off a little bit. Give it a nice little wipe. If it's not a cat snoring, it's a husband chomping on a chip. Did y'all hear the crunch of a lifetime? You have a microphone? Now, this might seem a little wild, what I'm about to do, but remember I told you I'm gonna take this. When we travel, sometimes we don't want to take a bunch of brushes, so I do want you to know that we could just take this. I'm still gonna need a little bit of a blending brush, but to really build up impact, I can load up this brush. We're gonna use the same brush throughout here. I'm not gonna switch this out, and then we can just stamp. And this is a really good way to get saturation very quickly. Now we could tap to blend, but that sometimes can take just a little hair of experience, which I have faith in you, but I just want to be mindful there. So pack that on. We're still using the same brush. We have fun here. It's almost like a challenge. All right, now we're gonna grab a different brush, but that does show you how versatile this density, the density here, and obviously the shape. It fits just so perfectly in these smaller areas, and that's where we usually want to conceal. But I'm doing this to kind of let you know that there's just so many different ways. I don't want you to ever feel limited with a brush. I remember when, this is a good story. I remember when I first started out, I would see artists use brushes, any brush, just in multiple different ways, and it was almost overwhelming. But I think that when you see it in action, like what I'm showing you right now, it's easier to understand and digest. So now I'm switching to an E29 just to soften these edges, just to blur, but we still have all that really nice saturation. I don't want to overblend that because that's what I'm shadowing there. It's fun, right? But anytime you need to build pigment really quickly, this brush would be a really, really good idea. So that density is what builds your layer, it builds your pigment. But let me take you on a little bit of a color correcting journey. So right now, we're actually going to use the peach shade, and we're going to use this because this would be a color corrector for that little bit of blue I have going on there. No, it's not bad, but it can be better, so why not have fun? And I feel like this is going to pair so nicely. I'm so excited. Wait, my C32 ran away. It's like, listen, that's enough. Still using that same one. Look, Notice all of that bronzery eyeshadow shade, completely gone. Just give it a nice wipe on Sheila. But I'm going to use this kind of as a color correcting moment in here. I'm not gonna really apply anything in there, and this is that peach shade. So we need to think about where peach is on the color wheel. This orange is going to be across from blue, and that's kind of what I deal with more underneath here. I don't deal with as much purple, it's more blue. So I'm going to take a little bit of this and I'm just going to build it up, and again, the density of this brush is going to be perfect for this. And I feel like this is sometimes where corrector and brightener can get a little bit confusing. I'm using this as a corrector right now for my skin tone. So this is going to work for deep to rich to brighten on top of what we already have, but I'm using it in here as a color corrector. So for the blue, even with my skin tone, I'm going to use a peachy shade. I think I'm just going to do this color on my lid. We're going to grab the C32 again because I really want this to be nice and impactful. I always tell you, did y'all hear that Texan? Lord have mercy. I'm trying to mask it here in California. Not happening. But the denser the brush, the more coverage. The fluffier the brush, the less coverage. So this one's got that right amount of density, but also what density means, it means even application, super, super smooth. So a lot of times we think coverage means a ton of product, and that's not what it means. And you can really even see that with eyeshadow. It's a really good demonstration. But density just means that it's going to take that product and keep it the exact same color and the exact same density that it is, like a concealer, exactly what this brush truly is. It's going to continue this. It's going to make it look the exact same. For example, this is nothing negative against sponges. I once used them, but I will say I would have issues with certain formulas not blending and staying the way that I wanted them to, because a damp sponge would just add moisture and it would start to change the formula. But with this and this level of density, this is a very thought out density, y'all. What it happens is it just completely smooths and you use less. Not only that, the bristles don't absorb, none of them do out of any of the collection. But that being said, you can take the tiniest amount and it's going to cover more, but it's going to be more even, thinner amounts. Thin, thin, thin. I preach thin layers every single day. And when I thought of this brush, that's what I thought of. I need something that's going to really work with how thin I like things, because thin makeup wears the best. Now let's do a wing liner. I've been back in my Stila one. I really like it. So I'm gonna do the front half here with brown. But I wanted to do the other half with the blue, and you'll see that in just a second. Forget how much I love this Stila liquid liner. It's nice, yes. And then I want to do the front half of the eye with the Soul Gazer liner in Cosmic. This is the blue one. Thought that would be fun. Oh, that's a party I want to go to right there. Yep. I'm wearing kind of like a blue suit. And oh, by the way, do y'all ever match your makeup to your clothes? Because I totally do. I like it. I think it's fun. Now we're all different, but I thought it'd be fun to ask y'all. Let's do a little poll. And then feather over here. This might be one of my favorite eyeliner looks I've done in a while. Making sure this is really close to the lash line. And I'm gonna try to just layer it up just a hair right in the center of my iris. When I blink, it's just more intense. And I don't know who needs to hear this because we've talked about it many times here. I just put on mascara. I'm gonna do my falsies. I'm getting there, but I want you to notice that, okay? That mascara, let it dry. If you're in a crazy wild hair hurry, that's something my dad would say. Anyways, if you're in a hurry, you could take some powder loose, just grab some, do a light little dot. And what you're doing with that is you're drying it out. Then grab any spoolie, just make sure it's clean and dry. There's your clean and dry spoolie. And then you're just gonna scrape it away. Never fret. All right, so we're gonna put on our Lily lashes. I'm looking for my lash tweezers, but really quickly, this is for Lily Lashes and for all of us. So these are my favorite. They're called Trendsetter out of all the styles that I wear, but we need a less floofy pair as well. I feel like sometimes we don't need the maximum floof, and these are the most, I feel like these are the most minimum floof, but we need something even less than this because this self-adhesive situation, listen, I've been put on lashes 10 years straight. I know how to put on lashes. This is even easier than anything I've ever done. I can't go back to regular lash glue. I won't. But that being said, we need some different styles. We need less floofy styles. Thank you. All right, let's put these on. All right, warmed them up. Let's grab it from the center. No matter what the lash is, I always grab from the center because you can place it here in the center easier. And also, not every post I technically do is an ad because I'm only required to, I want to just be real with y'all. I'm only required to, I think, post 2 or 3 slides a month, but I feel like I should just put ad because it's affiliated, and I just, you wouldn't lie to your friends, so that's why I put it. So not every single one is an ad, but some of them are, and then it gets confusing, and then I don't ever want to confuse y'all, so I just put ad. Look at that, it's so clingy. I mean, honestly, the application speaks for itself. And then it's not sliding everywhere. I love these. All right, we're starting on skin, but honestly, and I'm in California. You know what that means, I'm in a desert. The life and moisture is just being taken from my body. Let me go get my spray. I do not exist without this. I love this. I'm gonna spray quite a bit because this is gonna get me right. It's gonna get me all kinds of right. Now we definitely need to let this dry down. Okay, makeup on top of this at this stage of wet, chaos. Don't do that. But I will say this does dry down really nicely. It doesn't dry down as wet and gooey as think MAC Fix Plus, and that's a personal preference. We're all very different, and that's what makes makeup fun. But for me, MAC Fix Plus always felt too wet, and then it never would completely dry down, but this just feels like how you want your skin to feel. That is makeup ready skin. Now, I brought my Patrick Ta foundation because I definitely want to use it, but it's going to be too light. But I wanted to try a different technique. Are we excited? We're actually going to use the peach shade here to darken this foundation. It's going to get wild, but don't be alarmed because it's just having fun. Just a little bit of color theory. Lord have mercy, this is too light for me. And again, I really do like this formula, but I will say oily skin types, I don't think you would enjoy this. I'm balanced to dry, and I'm excited to see it here because it's so dry, and now I'm really dry. I'm not even gonna put balanced in there today. So we're just gonna even this out first, and then I'm not gonna place this underneath my eyes. And that's a really good rule of thumb. And if you ever do see me place it under my eyes, it's just me being mindless because I just throw makeup on. But if you really do want your makeup to really last, I was saying if you want your concealer to not crease and last, it really does help to not place foundation there as well. Just kind of let your correctors and your concealers do that work. But also, again, I do want to apologize because sometimes I'm just chatting and I'm not even thinking, and I'm just so mindless because I sometimes take the makeup right off and then put more back on. Also, I don't really need a lot of coverage on my forehead, and you're going to notice me kind of leave a gap there. And that's because I'm just going to put bronzer there in a minute. So I don't really need to worry about that. But I'm going to show you how to darken with this peach shade. And it's not going to be scary at all. It's going to be really, really fun. And I also want you to keep in mind that this new powder from Kosas is a baked formula. And I don't know if you've ever seen baked makeup. Go Google that and how they do it. It starts out as a souffle. It's very wet. So one of the reasons why this type of baked powder, I was saying one of the reasons this type of baked powder can do what we're about to do is because at one point it was wet, so it remembers being wet. It pairs nicely with wet, so you're not gonna have patchiness. So I'm gonna take this peachy shade. This one would be for deeper skin tones, but we can use it like this, and we're gonna use it to darken our foundation up a little bit. And we wanna do this while the foundation is wet. That way it really absorbs the pigment. I'll do one side. Look at that already. I love makeup so much because it is just so much fun. This is fun to me, watching these things come to life. It blows my mind, and I've been doing this, I don't even know how long. I don't care how long I've been doing it. It's just so cool. I mean, look at this difference compared to here. And you don't really have to worry too much because I'm not using that much. It might feel like I'm using a lot, but we're still in a wet state. So if we wanted to do our cream still, we absolutely could. But this is just a really fun way to kind of adjust and fix foundations that are a hair too light. So I love, even though these are focused on brightening, there are a million different ways to use them. And that's why color correcting and all of that is so fascinating to me, because it really helps us even save what we already have. It's so helpful to understand these things because then we're not afraid of anything and we don't waste things, and it all makes sense. Yeah, they agree. So I'm going to use my Kosas concealer. This finally matches me again. I got a little bit too dark for this shade, but we're in 2.6C again. Oh, perfect. But I want you to kind of take this and I want you to just do some dots. And I know that we all want a different amount of concealer. But that's not what I'm telling you. I'm not telling you the amount. You use what you want to use. But you'll notice that the way I applied it with the wand, I didn't apply it lumpy like this. You see how I've got a ridge there now? Let me show you that ridge. Ooh, there's the ridge. We don't want any ridges. We want to use the wand to our advantage and really smooth it out. Kind of a pre-smooth. At every stage, smooth your makeup out. It makes a difference. Now, it's back. Oh, I hated using it because everyone was sad. And you know what? I don't want it to sell out this time. We didn't expect it to sell out last time, but y'all are some of the greatest, wonderful, supporting people in the whole wide world, and I appreciate you so much. Do you see how that is just smoothing out? Look at how, oh, look at that. That is a concealer application that ain't going nowhere. Now, before I even wipe the brush off, I always just take and just tap around. I like small areas, and that's what it's designed for. But look at this. It's not all just clumped up. And then all we would have to do is a quick wipe on Sheila. And you could even just go back in over your eyeshadow. See that? Now the difference between the C31, which is RUNNOFT, there it is. The difference with this one is this is going to be a major pinpointer. So if you have some fine lines, if you have discoloration, you want intense pinpointed application, and that's what this one is for. Think corrector, think those things, but this one is more for all over even application. This one's going to kind of spread things out a little bit more evenly. This one's going to pinpoint. When I designed this brush, I wanted a concealer brush that would truly change the way that my concealer would wear, and I understood that it was shape and fiber and density, and that's what we got here. All right, enough squeaky squawking about this. I'm just very excited, but I love it. I love this brush. Many of you already have this brush and you love this brush, so it's back in stock. All right, let's finish our tutorial. I'll stop squeaking about this now. All right, C40. I don't know why everything is chaotic. Actually, I do. I don't even know what I'm doing here. I am literally gonna wipe this off and film some more because I needed to film a video for the concealer release. All right. I can use this shade for bronzer, but what the sound effect was me trying to pick up a very small amount because this stuff is wildly pigmented. So sometimes you just need sound effects. Look at how pretty that is. Insta Sculpt. Looks so good. Oh, I still have to do my hair. What have I done to myself? I brought all of this on myself. All of it. I have fun. I love it. I love filming. I wouldn't change a thing. Absolutely not. I think I need to pick that up a little bit more evenly. I love this palette so much. Now I think I have a new favorite blush from Kosas. Normally I would use this, but I mean, we're here, we're having fun. This color, I wore it today and it leaves almost like a sheen, but not a sheen we don't like. I'm gonna put this back on. I think I put this on yesterday. Yeah, Dreamland. It's so pretty. That ugly face just means how pretty this is. Look at how pretty. And I can't, the camera's not picking it up here. No, nope, there it is. But it's not a textury glow. It's so pretty. I wore it today and I just felt real cute. I like this color a lot. Love it. See how that just melted in with the bronzer? So pretty. So the level of brightness, because we're getting to that, it depends on how wet things are. I told you that, remember? It's about how wet your foundation is. If I was to put this on top right now, we'd be at a level 5 bright, but I don't want a level 5 bright right now. I want a level 2 bright. So I'm gonna do a light preset, just a wispity wisp. I'm gonna use my Mario powder. I'm talking a wispity wisp, but it's kind of like a preset. Okay, we talk about presetting all the time here. You're kind of creating a barrier so the wetness doesn't absorb the pigment. And again, not a bad thing, just not what I'm after. Plus, I want to teach you and give you options. We'll do a level 5 bright when we get home. Level 5. Now, going for that level 2. Puff, you're gonna get more pigment out of a puff. If you ever want more pigment out of something, use a puff. You want less pigment, use a fluffy brush. Sound effects, I'm sorry. Oh, and I know you're thinking, Rose, that's a level 5. No, because we're gonna push it in more. Oh my goodness. And then I'll take the end and then can just continue to push because there's no product here. So it's gonna push it in even more. That is a beautiful under eye. And when I tell you it feels like nothing. Mature skin friendly, everybody's skin friendly. It's delightful. 11 out of 10. And now we don't do hype over here, okay? We don't. But I will say, I feel like these are going to sell out. They're eyeliners. Kosas eyeliners sold out. So if this is something that's catching your eye, and there's never any pressure, but I mean, I just want to let you know that Kosas tends to sell out. So I'm just going to put the link here one more time in case you're interested. Good Lord, that looks delightful. But again, there's never any pressure here, but I let y'all know. I'm almost out of iced tea. I'm gonna have to tell Ben to bring me some more back. I am in love with this iced tea. In fact, I was seeing if I could get some to make at home. I don't think I can be without it anymore. You know, I don't have the skin tone for the yellow one. Nor do I have it. It ran away. There we go, feathery. There's the peach one. Here it is, buttery. But a way you could use this is, remember how I kind of darkened my foundation? If you have a lot of concealers or foundations that pull too pink for you, so you have a more warm undertone, having something like this in your collection would be incredible, because this can be an adjuster as long as you apply it on the wet foundation or the wet concealer, because you want it to really enhance the pigment. Just like we do eyeshadow, we like to apply eyeshadow on top of a wet base so it enhances it. Remember how we used to lick our brushes? We don't do that no more. But it's kind of that same theory. So this would be great if you have a warm undertone to kind of adjust. Let's get wild. We're going to use this more brown shade. This is the Kosas lip liner in the shade Supreme. And if you ever want to get definition, this is the way to do it. But if you're not used to brown lip liners, you just have to kind of get over this initial visual. It's terrifying. But then it's no matter where I go, there will be construction and there will be a lawn crew. I don't mind it, but it's comical. We have fun. But what I was saying, oh my God, I love this eye so much. We're gonna cover most of this up, and we're also gonna blend it. And I feel that unblended lip liner like this can be very intimidating, but it's a trust the process. Just like we trust the process all the time with our eye makeup, we have to trust it with this, because blending is so important. So let's just get an initial draft, and then look, we can soften it. Already less scary. Y'all know I'm a ventriloquist too. I gotta go oversee this job. And listen, you might still hate brown lip liner. That's okay. We can have preferences. But if you've ever wanted to try it and you kind of just stop because you're like, this looks horrendous, just kind of play with it a little bit, okay? Again, I'm just gonna continue to blend. Now, what I'm blending is more from here down. I'm not blending those edges. Don't blend out here. Blend in. I guess I could grab a brush. This one looks good. We'll just grab this dual-ended. There you go. Blend it towards the center, and then I can wipe this off. Watch this. And then I'll just take some powder, and then I'll kind of clean up around here. Do you see how it's not transferring? And then let's do this MAC lipstick that I fell in love with. I hope this one's still around. This is a Bring It Back MAC shade, and the shade is Hot Gossip. Delightful. And do you see how most of that liner is hidden and it's just not as scary now? But we have really nice contour and definition. Delightful to me. I got too excited about showing you going on that I forgot to label this. I did audibly say it, but I like to label. So this is the lipstick shade. All right, friends, that's it for today. Thank you so much for all your support on the C32. Well, it was here. This is chaos. There it is. Thank you. Thank you for selling it out last time, and just thank you for being here with me. I love you all so much. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a podcast, and I'm going to give you all the details so you can go check it out. I've never done a podcast before. You know what? I don't know. This is a lot. A lot is happening, but it's all good things. So I'll try to do a quick tutorial tomorrow for you. I'm going to try my best. It could be a little hectic tomorrow, especially since we're in LA and you have to drive and then traffic. So I'm going to keep you updated on that. And yes, I love you all so much. Thank you. I'm really hugging y'all when I'm hugging the brush. Y'all mean the world to me. And thanks for being here with me. I love you.